profit, community-based organization, or a black politician or a black church, if you're taking money from white folks, it comes with conditions. Every Negro in America knows every white dollar comes with conditions. So if I am serious about helping black people as a politician, a preacher, a community activist, I don't take money from white folks. Now, here's the bigger question. Black people in America are a $2 trillion economy. We're the richest group of Africans on the face of the earth. We're the 10th richest economic power in the world. Why do we care about taking money from white folks? How about we stop spending $2 billion on Air Jordans every year? How about we stop spending $4 billion on liquor and alcohol every year? How about we stop spending $1 billion on chicken, turkey, beef, and pork, financing our own cancer? Why don't we stop doing that? You see that? Yeah. Why we buy 3 times the amount of Mercedes-Benzes as white folks, but yet we have less than 1/3 of the wealth of white people? You see that? Will Smith said something. Will Smith said this. Will Smith said, black people spend too much money they do not have, buying things they do not need to impress people they don't even like. Get your financial priorities in order. You will never have political power until you have economic organization. We need Black Wall Street Boston. That should be the whole conversation. Black Wall Street Boston. If you're a preacher, politician, community Black Wall Street Boston. That means a black hospital for Black Boston, a black independent school, not no charter. I said independent school for Black Boston, black supermarket, black bank. We need Black Wall Street Boston.
Now, you've been organizing this school for many years.
Yes, sir.
A lot of people have applauded what you are doing, but it is a very difficult task.
Yes. Gotcha.
So, even in that, how do, giving that hill that you're climbing with that
yes,
process?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Man, the way they're beating you up, I might not be.
You can't stand up for African people and not expect to get beat down by African people, because our conditioning from the plantation makes it so. Don't ever say, I want to fight for my people if you're not ready to fight your people. You got to fight for your people, and you got to fight your people at the same time. But our struggles with the FDMG Academy, which are pretty much over at this point because renovations are just about done, was not so much the acquisition of the school or the renovating of the school. We were taken advantage of by our own people, black contractors, in the renovation process. That's what slowed us down. It wasn't the money from the people. It was nothing else but the black contractors. And of course, we got some issues with some of the blacks in the bureaucracy of the city where we're located, because there's always coonism going on, right? But outside of that, we good to go. It's going to be a struggle. What the f***? Nope. The problem with the 50 million Negroes in America is we don't really want to be free. We don't want to be independent. We don't even want to be equal. We want to be comfortable under oppression. Black people are not struggling for freedom, justice, and equality. We just want white people to like us and treat us better. If white people like us and treat us better, we don't give a damn what they do to us, how bad they miseducate our kids, and how much of our tax money they steal. King Kong consciousness. Let's go.
Hey, if you don't know, we're talking to Mr. Dr. Umar. He's in here giving us some light.
If you don't know, you're going to learn.
Yeah.
You're going to learn today.
Yeah.
Black Wall Street Boston.
Talk about
See,
it.
before you struggle with black folks, you got to take everybody who claim to be conscious and you got to divide them into 3 groups. Right? I'm talking about those who are in the know. So we do this and make you think they are long enough to get to where they want to go, and then they disappear on your ass. Be careful of the opportunists. They worse than the coon, because the coon you can see coming. You can see the coon coming. You can't see the hustler coming. Y'all know I know what I'm talking about. See, Boston has a black bourgeoisie, right? Y'all might have the original black bourgeoisie. In fact, y'all black bourgeoisie might be worse than our Philadelphia black bourgeoisie. But check this out. You can't control black people without black people. See, the gatekeeping Negro elite of Boston is the reason y'all got such a big gentrification problem. The gatekeeping elite of Negro Boston is the reason why black Boston and white Boston have one of the largest black-white inequality gaps in the entire country. You can't do that to black people unless you use black people. So we cannot be afraid to expose the coons. The coon Illuminati. You must expose them. So you got your opportunists, right? And then you got your ride or dies. They the real brothers and sisters. You understand me? They willing to go to jail for the struggle. They willing to die for the struggle. They willing to lose everything they got for the struggle. That's 1/3. And then your last third, they mean well. but they're not going to sacrifice anything for the people. You got to be careful with them, because if the pressure get put on them too hot, even though they think they for the people, they will fold like an old bag of potatoes. Know who you struggling with.
And I think we've seen all those types.
That's right. And you're going to keep on seeing more of them types until we start financing ourselves. I want, but you don't want to dig up the ground. You want water, but you don't want lightning. Frederick Douglass said a man will only get what he pays for.
Listen, I'm not usually speaking.
Oh, and by the way, hold on. The ancestors. Hold on. Yesterday was October 16th. That was the anniversary of the October 16th, 1859 Harper's Ferry raid led by white man John Brown, right? There were 5 black men who fought for John Brown, and we never talk about them 5 black men. Osborne Anderson, who was the only black survivor. Dangerfield Newby, the first to die for John Brown, was a black man. Lewis Sheridan Leary, Shields Green, and John Anthony Copeland. So I want to shout out those 5 black men who gave their life for us to be free. Also was the anniversary yesterday of the Honorable Minister Farrakhan's 1995 Million Man March. I was there as the newly elected Black Student Union president of Millersville University of Pennsylvania. And also yesterday, October 16th, 1968, was John Carlos and Tommy Smith at the Olympics put up the black fist, black power, October 16th, 1968. And I got to give a shout out to Black Boston. Today, October the 17th of 1787, Prince Hall, the father of the Black Masons, no, I am not a Mason, but the father of the Black Masons and one of the grandfathers of Pan-Africanism, on this day in 1787 at the Boston legislature, Prince Hall introduced a resolution to provide black children in Boston with equal education, just like the white children in Boston, and he did it in 1787. Today, Black Power.
Now, I had one of my questions on here about the Million Man March.
Go ahead. Throw it out there.
I was there.
You was there too?
Oh, man.
I was there. We got there 5 o'clock in the morning. The sun didn't even come up. We was there when it was less than 50 people.
I think I was that early, too, because I was selling T-shirts, but...
I might have bought one. You sold me that extra tight Million Man March tee. It was a wife beater. That T-shirt was tightish.
They were actually, I was married to Farrakhan's people, so
okay.
I had access. It was really an amazing event. My
Beautiful. Go ahead.
Is I think that we need another one. I want to get your thoughts about that.
Do we need another Million Man March? I'm not against it, but here's my constructive criticism to the Honorable Minister. If we're going to do it again, this time it needs to have teeth in a serious follow-up, because we did not get the Million More movement until 10 years, at least 10 years or more, after the Million Man March. We cannot bring that many black men together in the same place and not have a blueprint that we move out on immediately. We poured millions of dollars into Washington, D.C.'s white restaurants, white hotels, white transportation companies. They got rich off of us. What did we get? That's not a criticism. It's a constructive criticism. If we're going to do it again, this time it needs to have teeth. We can't hype our people up and not give them something to live on afterwards.
I really did come home with a different mindset, though.
A lot of us did.
But I there was nothing for me to grab onto.
No infrastructure came out of it. You understand? That's not a criticism of the minister, because we were all there together. But if we're going to do it again, right? Hindsight is always 20/20 for all of us.
Yes.
If we look back, I'll look back on things I've done. I could have done better. You understand?
Sure.
We in this together. But if we're going to do it again, put some teeth on it.
Using your word, it has to have structure.
It got to have structure.
That's what. So it has to be structured from top to bottom.
Yes, indeed.
Well, when you spoke of organization, I just thought that was amazing to get so many brothers in that space at that time in terms of organization. And I believe we did that based upon Farrakhan. Do you think there should be some, is there a voice that is as powerful, or is there someone who can bring us together like
Don't do it,
that.
dog.
You sound like that brother right now. But I'm just saying.
Go ahead.
Well, you're talking to the most requested black scholar on the planet Earth. You are talking to the number one Pan-Africanist on the planet Earth. You are talking to the number one black school psychologist on the planet Earth. You're probably talking to one of the most popular speakers for our youth on the college campus in history. So if I'm not at the table, it ain't a real table. I'm just going to keep it a buck.
That's what you said.
This is Marcus Garvey talking to you today.
So why don't you King Kong it?
I'm going to King Kong.
Why don't you just King Kong
I'm
it?
going to King Kong.
And you be like this, hey, here's what we doing. Meet me.
And I do want to say this. We have to evolve away from Eurocentric structure of leadership
Okay.
back to African centered. What I mean by that is I don't want one man at the top, not even me. I might be the spokesperson, but the leadership is a team. It is a council. No more one man at the top because they can either be corrupted or killed. Malcolm, Martin, Mega. We don't need that no more. We need men, women, elders, and youth. You feel me? It's a team.
Yes.
So if you go to jail, we still rocking and rolling.
Okay.
He go to jail, we still rocking and rolling. I get taken out, we still rocking and rolling. No more Messiah. We got to get out of the Messiah complex. One of the weaknesses of black American political thought, we approach our political issues through the lens of religion. In religion, you wait for God to send you a savior. God sent us Abraham, Moses, Jesus, Muhammad, right? Black people are waiting for God to send them a savior. But Chinese are making their leaders. The white man is making their leaders. The Asians and Arabs are making their leaders. We're supposed to be making and training out. Stop waiting for your leader to fall out the sky. It ain't going to happen. You got to groom them yourself.
Wall right here.
Absolutely, brother Wawa.
So, but if, I mean, it does. I mean, I was enlightened by Farrakhan. He said,
So was I.
Let's go.
And we should have went, and we did.
But we don't,
I'm not saying it shouldn't have happened.
If that voice,
I loved it.
If that voice is you right now, because you are speaking that
I'm one of the voices.
Unadulterated, organic black truth.
One of the voices.
Tap hearing.
One of the voices.
Yeah,
but
there you go.
I would nominate you for that. Right? If you said let's go, I would go.
Well,
But
if it's a microphone and I'm not on it, take the microphone away. But I'm one of them. Because again, I have to lead by example.
Yes, sir.
Which is to say, don't put me up there alone. Where the two sisters at? Where the two elders at? Where the two brothers at? Where the two youths at? It should be a force of leadership.
you brought an interesting point because they end up destroying our Messiahs.
Exactly. That's why you don't put them out there alone.
Can't go that way
I
again.
wonder, because I think most people in the room could see you as that next person. Do you ever have fear for your life?
Nah.
When I study Martin and Malcolm, one of the things you often hear from those who walked with them, most of whom are ancestors as well now, they say they got to a point where they got so tired of being worried about when the bullet would come that some closest to them felt like they secretly prayed to go. In other words, they had got so exhausted by the threat of death.
Right.
Just take me and end this. I don't ever want to get to the point where I'm exhausted by the threat. I get the threats. You understand? I get the threats. But I try to, in honor of Malcolm and Martin, and Medgar, and Fred Hampton, and George Jackson, I try, and Patrice Lumumba, and Amilcar Cabral, and Dedan Kamathi, I try to discipline myself away from the fear. Because the minute you get consumed with the fear, you're no longer useful to the
You're
movement.
no longer focused. on
You're no
what's
longer
going on.
focused.
So my question to you, I'm sorry, Tap.
Mm-hmm.
Since we were talking about putting a panel together,
Yes, sir.
how's your relationship with the Honorable Louis Farrakhan?
We've never met in person, but I have tremendous respect for him.
Okay, but would you reach out and say, hey, let's have a conversation? If he reached out and said, hey, I heard you want to do something, would you go sit with him?
I think we can have that conversation. Yes.
Yeah, I think you two should meet, and you can tell him the structure should happen, and how the panel should be. Besides all these bougie politicians with their slick hair and not there for the people. They're
Ultra perm, Jerry curl, S curl.
right. They're there for the clicks and not for the people.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
So I think that should happen.
Yes, sir.
Because I think
Yes, sir.
I think we need that. And you know what I think we need? I think each city should have a 1,000-man march, as you say, to come together.
Right.
So the youth can see, stop killing each other, and understand you're killing yourself.
And Jonathan's that voice here. He has a very strong voice here.
Nah, nobody likes me.
but you do. You know, people respect your energy, dog. Trust me.
And what's the key? What's the key? The key is to keep the voice that you choose Financially independent.
Yeah, send me a check.
A big reason.
Say it
A big
again.
reason why we struggle is the voices we choose don't stay financially independent.
Right.
If you're working for white people, you can't lead black people. They got to be financially
So
independent.
there are a lot of times, like when you talk about the NAACP, and I hate to beat them up,
Founded by white people.
other organizations, and we
Controlled
all
by white
know-
people.
We know, we understand the money that was behind the organization, and we always thought it was cool. Like, oh man, these wonderful people. That was so damn nice of them to give us and donate money, and they always put it in their history books. That's why we know it.
When I talk about the NAACP and the Urban League, I'm talking about the organization and the structure and the history. There's good people in them. I know good people in the NAACP. I know good people in the Urban League. The problem is those organizations were not founded to liberate blacks. Here's the question I would have for the CEO of the NAACP and the Urban League, especially the NAACP. Y'all spend about $10 to $20 million every presidential election cycle getting black people to vote for white people, right? $10 to $20 million every 4 years. You ain't built the school. You ain't built the hospital. You ain't built the bank. You ain't built the How can you spend that kind of money on trying to get black people to vote for white people and you've built no infrastructure in our community? You are a complete waste of time and energy until you start tackling the issues that matter to black people. But they can't because they're paid by white people.
Tap, I want to go back.
The best thing, one of the best decisions I made in my life is I never, ever got caught up with the white man's money. Never. And that's why my tongue is still free.
Tap.
I say what I want. I go where I want. I do what I want. Black power.
Tap, when you had asked about structure, that's why he got us as the security team, that we move a whole different
Yes,
way.
yes.
So when he comes to town,
Yes.
he's calling Brother Chris when everybody want to be my best friend when he comes, because Brother Chris going to make sure you safe because I'm
Yes,
good with people.
yes.
He also already know I could grab the microphone and
Yes,
he did it.
yes.
He practiced, don't just interview Umar, interview Wall, your city councilor, interview Brother Chris,
That's right.
who already keep introducing me
That's
to
right.
the whole hood. I already practiced it and said, I'm coming up there to get back on the radio because I'm coming to see Unc JG. That's why I'm coming up there, and I already know everybody in there. So we practice what we hearing him preach, and we just a local representation and an extension of what he doing. Including, he always trying to recruit us to come down to Delaware, be in security at the school, teach
That's
at the
right.
school, and everything else, because you understand the concept of team. But the piece he said to JG has to be echoed in this here setting, which is financially, physically, and politically, the leaders we pick, you have to get behind them. Politically, if I tell you the person to go for Wawa with your goofy self, vote for Wawa. Stop
Right.
going for them people that ain't in our interest. Financially, they're going to financially castrate us. So therefore, you need to put your dollars behind your leaders. Then the last part is physically. If you go to put your hands on our brother, our elected official, we're going to do something to you.
That's right.
We're all the way for that.
Ski mask
and
club.
look, and it'll act like Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un. When that little North Korean took the cap off that nuclear bomb, Donald Trump said, turn that airplane back around. With a bully, you got to let him know, I got the same fire over here as you. The reason why, but back to the finances, when you don't have the financial dollars, you can't stand up against a well-oiled machine. You just can't financially do it. Y'all see that with court cases. They give you a new court date because they know you can't even afford to take off.
Right.
And so you get ready to catch a case because you can't even afford to miss work. But I didn't want you to pass that up. I wanted that to be back in the
No,
state.
that needed to be said.
It's already extended. It's already extended.
I appreciate that.
Because, see, you got to realize, we have 5 major problems in black America. I don't care if you're in Boston. I don't care if you're in Atlanta, where I'm going to be next week. I don't care if you're in Alabama, Tennessee, Oakland, Phoenix, Detroit, Chicago. 5 problems. Mass incarceration, miseducation, gentrification and homelessness, police genocide and brutality, and economic apartheid. Any black person running for office, any politician with a mega church who is not tackling one of those problems in a major way is a complete coon.
But you just say those problems again because I think every community has those issues.
And they rarely get tackled. Miseducation. You know why miseducation don't get tackled? Because the school district pays off the community activists to never hold it accountable. Let me say it again.
Come on, Doc.
Let me say it again.
Come on,
There's
Doc.
black people in Boston being paid off by Boston public schools to not hold them accountable for the suspensions, the special education, the low test scores, the dropout rates, the lack of resources. They pay you off to stay out. That's why we never fix the schools. Gentrification, right? That's the banks. Why aren't our black elected officials writing law to demand that the banks in Boston that holds the people's tax dollars, if you're not doing a certain amount of business, if you ain't giving a certain amount of loans to Black Boston, you can't hold the city's money no more. We are literally being railroaded by the very banks that hold our personal money and our city money. Shouldn't be going down. Police. Why don't we have more black police in Boston? And why do they get so many police from outside of the city of Boston? You know why? Because if there's ever a revolt, they want to make sure the police can't side with the people. That's why they bring white people into the black community instead of black folks. Okay? Exactly. Then you got your mass incarceration. When is the last time there was an overhaul of the state of Massachusetts criminal code? And why aren't the black elected officials demanding a complete review and overhaul of the state of Massachusetts criminal code? See that? Because they get paid not to get involved. That's why you don't take white people's money. Because when you take white people's money to run for office, they give you a list of things that you better never talk about. They own you.
This is why we have black radio.
Gotta have black radio.
Black radio. Someone else. You and I couldn't be here today.
That's right.
Your point is well made. That's why I love being a part of this black music thing here.
Yes,
we
sir.
are talking to Dr. Benjamin. You want to give me your
Benjamin?
Full, no. Give me your full name.
Benjamin O. Davis?
No.
Benjamin Banneker? This is Dr. Umar Ifa Tunde, the Prince of Pan-Africanism, King Kong Consciousness, and I'm live in Boston, Massachusetts.
So let me ask you, because we're talking about the police. So Trump's got the National Guard. I'm not even sure if they're still in D.C.
The ICE raids.
But Memphis, you're talking Chicago and other places. What are your thoughts on that? Because I know there's two sides. You got folks saying, okay, well, crime is gone. And then there's the other side where as if, they do get rid of the crime. There's this thing that the state or the city's going to lose funding. So we
never get the funding any damn way. See, I don't get concerned about nothing.
Right.
We don't see it anyway. Can we be real?
Right.
Do we ever see the money? I don't care. Now, you got a lot of black people saying, we got to fight back against the ICE raid because if they do it to the Latinos, they'll then do it to blacks. I say nonsense. They've been doing it to blacks. Second of all, you got to understand that our situation is peculiar to the white man. It's unique because we're the only non-white people in America who cannot be deported. Everybody can be sent home. Asians can be sent to Asia. Chinese can be sent to China. Latinos can be sent back to South America. But slavery destroyed your spiritual and psychological connection to your ancestral homeland. So the only way you can get rid of black people is by a system of internal genocide. Now, as far as the ICE raids, I wish well for the Latino community. I don't like what's happening to them. I don't think mothers should be separated from children. I don't think fathers should be separated from their families. But I would say to them the same thing I say to the Palestinians who keep flooding my damn Instagram inbox, asking me why I'm not speaking more up for the Palestinians. I don't like what's being done to the Palestinians. It is wrong, and I want justice for them. But I do not have time to cry for brown people and yellow people because I'm not done crying and fighting for black people. So until my people got justice, later for your problems.
That's how I felt when I see it. But I start to see that it has affecting our community, even the black community, when some of our brown brothers are getting snatched up.
That's true. And I'm concerned about that.
From black folks who think, man, they're just a shade away from it.
Well, let's remember, what was Abraham Lincoln doing during the Civil War while black people were dying? 210,000 black men, many of whom lost their lives, keeping America a single nation instead of two. I think Donald Trump needs to be reminded of that. But what was President Abraham Lincoln doing at the time of the Civil War? He was negotiating with Mexico. He was negotiating with other countries because Abraham Lincoln did not want black people to remain in this country after the Civil War. He was trying to ship us all out at once. at the end of the Civil War. Nobody talks about that. Not even Barack Obama, who claims Abraham Lincoln was his hero. And Barack Obama got sworn into office on the Abraham Lincoln Bible. And here you are in love with the hero who was a white supremacist who was trying to get black people deported out of the very country that we helped to preserve.
You think he knew that? Because you just said
He should have knew that. He's a damn Harvard-trained lawyer. The Obaminati was a disgrace. The Obaminati was a disgrace. And shame on Al Sharpton for selling us Barack Obama for 8 years. And not once the man and that man do something for black people. Do you know Al Sharpton met with the president of the United States more than any black leader in history? Al Sharpton met with Barack Obama more than Dr. King met with Lyndon Baines Johnson. But the difference, Dr. King came back